Good morning and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS with your host, Bob Pace. Now, it's a warm welcome, and I know that you are searching for answers. Are you troubled with this entity that I call CPS, that everybody else pretty much calls? Now, I define CPS as the Child Protection System. Every county and every state has a CPS, but they are given different names. So I don't want to sit here and try to label one name over another name. It's just easy just to say CPS. Some of these other names may be the Department of Children and Family Services, or Child Protection Services, or the Cabinet, or the Department of Children's Services. The list goes on and on. But unfortunately, a lot of us have been troubled by CPS, not only in the United States, but around the world. I've had a total of 22 countries, and with the United States, there's 23 countries that have been texting or calling in over the last 21 months. I've been doing this live stream since I started in October of 2023, and that's a long time. That is really a long time. And I do it twice a day, 7 days a week. I've not missed a day yet. There are times, sometimes, like you all, I encountered trouble, and it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. I come here not because of money or because of fame or fortune, whatever you want to call it. I come here because I'm a loving father and a loving husband and a man that wants to help others not go through and experience what I experienced. CPS was a horrible nightmare, and it's still a nightmare with me right now. I lost a daughter out of this mess. I lost my forever home. I have a dysfunctional family because of them. And I'm struggling. And it's hard because I get older and older. This started to me when I was 60 years old in 2010. Now, this show is broadcast twice a day. I'm on at 10 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 o'clock on the weekends. Then in the evenings, I'm on at 7 p.m. every night of the week. Now, those times pretty much I stick to. Sometimes I'm late. Sometimes I have difficulties beyond my control. And one of the things I'm experiencing is I don't have the necessary operating tools. My own personal computer now has died, meaning that I don't have the sign-on page anymore to sign in. I don't know what's wrong with my computer. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to take it in, and I don't have the money because right now I do have a little job that I try to do. I'm paid Bangladesh wages, but I've worked the whole month of June and not been paid a dime. It's now the second week of July. It's July 11th, 2025. Now, I never run away from my problems. I've worked all my life. I've worked 61 years. And I've always taken care of my bills and taken care of my family. Now, my family consists of 6 children that I love, I've helped and raised. Only 2 of them are with me. The other 4, one of them has completely been taken away from me, and I've been putting together a grievance, a lawsuit against the entity that has done it. It's terrible that I had to reach that, but I've been denied no relationship with my daughter. They've done 2 terrible things. They've taken away her identity and convinced her to do other things. And they've helped her get erroneous Social Security card because the first one she's not using. Well, she is using. She's got double Social Security, which is against the law. Everybody has problems and woes, and I'm not here. I'm going to try to here to help you with your own. I mean, mine pile up, and sometimes I'm so stressed. I've met wonderful people on here, people that are trying their hardest. And there it is, Samantha Bernard, who's been on the last couple of days. Good to see you, Samantha Bernard. She's from California. They're from the Santa Barbara County area. And they're trying to keep their only child left. I think 2 of them have been taken into custody, and 1 of them is still there. They're trying to do a petition at the Santa Barbara office. It's hard, CPS is. Don't get me wrong. It's very complicated. Life is very complicated. Life is constantly changing with disasters happening all around us. We have wars going on. We have disasters going on. And people are being hurt worldwide. And I'm not trying to say my problems or your problems are worse than anybody else's. I never judge anybody unless I've walked in their moccasins. Yes, that's the Indian saying. There's a lot of Indian background in my life. I'm 1/4 Lakota Sioux, 1/4 Viking, and 1/4 Scottish. The rest of me, the quarter left, is a mixture of Scandinavian countries, Germanic countries. But my great-great-grandmother was a full-blood Lakota Sioux from the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. My grandfather is from Bergen, Norway, originally, the Viking town of Bergen. He has roots that go back to the 800s AD, the time of Vikings. And I have Indian blood that goes back to the 1800s in South Dakota. So I try to learn as much as I can about my heritage. My Scottish heritage lies at the castle in Edinburgh, Queen Mary Stuart of Scotland. I'm supposedly related to her. But the beef eaters there at the gates laughed at me the last time I was in Edinburgh. When I claimed that was my home. Anyway, I have an interesting background, but I also have an interesting background that I can share a lot of things. Good morning, Carrie Sampson. It's good to see you. I'm so glad. These are regular people that come into my room that look for answers. And it is hard. It's so hard. Thank you, Dorothy Cook and Christina Reynoso. I know you're watching the background. And Domenico Diane, thank you, you 3, for the love. I'm here because I care about you people involved with a very bad entity. This entity, the child protection system, is corrupt. Now, I can't say it's 100% or even 50%. All I can say is that 2,000 over 200 people of you that have talked to my live stream, either texting or phone calling, have told me their horror stories of dealing with an entity that comes knocking at your door, doesn't respect your civil rights or your constitutional rights, demands entry, demands you talk to them, demands to search the home, demands to take your children. That's how they are. It's almost like Gestapo. That is the expression used during World War II when the German people had Nazism and they ran a strong arm It's like the KGB of the old Soviet Union, and Putin is a former ex-KGB. And I think that KBG wants him because Russia wants to become the Soviet Union again. It's evil out there. It's not the people. I love the people. I love Russian people. I love German people. I love the world. I'm a world traveler. I've been to over 50 countries. And I've lived in about 10 of them. And I've lived around the United States. I'm a world traveler. I'm a world traveler. I've lived out of a bag for 25 years traveling to surfing events. I've always been an avid surfer, and my life has been surfing. That's where I'm broadcasting this from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the ocean. 4 o'clock in the morning is a special time for me. It's a time to wake up and greet the new world. God gives us that chance to have a new day every day we wake up. But as I get older and encounter more disasters, more stresses, it gets harder. It gets harder. Right now, I'm at probably my lowest part I've ever been in my life. I have a family that barely keeps on, meaning they demand so many things out of me. And dealing with CPS was the nightmare and a half. They're not to be trusted. They do retaliate. Fighting CPS is just as difficult as open heart surgery. And you need a professional to fight for you. And that professional costs you money. That is the downside. And Dorothy says, "Good morning, Mr. Bob. How is Mrs. K. Richardson? Would love to reach out to her and show her the love and support they can." I have no idea. I was told I would get a link to come on her show. She was going to do a show. I don't know what she was going to do a show, but apparently she was really down. And I know a lot of us get down a lot of times because it is a very emotional thing. This latest disaster with the floods in Texas, and the floods in New Mexico, or the floods wherever the floods are in the world, there's floods everywhere. And I don't want to single out one place worse than the other, but it's a tragedy that we go through. It's a challenge that God has told us to be strong. We need to rely more on the Bible and what it says, because there's so many good things in there. I've learned a lot from that. I found a church that likes me, that accepts me, and I like the messages I get every Sunday. But it's hard. It really is hard. But I know that being in this room and helping you all is a good thing for me, because it helps me see different things, and maybe I can help you all. I know I have. I just remember a couple weeks ago about the family that called in here from Santa Cruz to California about medical trafficking. A social worker demanded that a child have their appendix removed. They're not a doctor, but that's how bad CPS got. And that is the Department of Children and Family Services in LA County, Los Angeles County. And I hate to say it, where I'm living is LA County or LA City is so bad. It's so disrespectful. And I'm not trying to digress away from CPS, but CPS is a part of this. As you know, there's an organization called ICE. And that organization is trying to round up the millions of people in the United States that came over here not for asylum, not for freedom, but they came over here to sell drugs, to traffic children, to kill and hurt other people living here. And one of the campaign promises that our new president has been is to get rid of the people, and people don't understand it. If you X number of people, you divide that by the X number of days, and that's how many people you have to put out. And yes, innocent people are getting caught up in it. It's going to happen. When I was growing up, I was told to respect the flag. I was supposed to love the flag. My dad was serving in the armed forces as a naval officer, a career officer, who fought in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. His love for his country was unimaginable. He'd be gone 9 months at a time to be deployed, especially during the busy times of the 60s when I was growing up as a teenager. I experienced it all. I experienced so much. Somehow I experienced Woodstock in New York. That was a big social happening. I experienced the marches in Washington, D.C. I experienced a lot of things, the movements that were taking place, the culture developments. I've seen people that I've met over the years come and go and die. I've lost some really good friends lately. Really good. There was Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys recently, Mike Hansen of the fame of the Endless Summer. Yeah, they're related to surfing. But there was also my man that used to deliver me meat, Don, who was just a nobody, but he had beautiful talent. He used to teach piano. His music talent was there. There are lots of things that I've experienced. But I come on here because it hurts me to see people be taken advantage of, to be abused by the child protection system. My social worker was a very young, naive person that all he thought about was money. She'd get bonuses. She was only 23 years old. She had no high school education, no college degree, but she was entrusted with the lives of my family. My family was brutalized. It all started when I lost my job in 2010 through no fault of my own. And for 5 years, I had endured harassment by CPS. Why? Because the way they're structured, anybody that calls in a layperson who is a reporter can complain and make up fabrications. And that's what it was. I did not know it was my in-laws, my wife's mother and father, and her 3 sisters and a brother would call in once a week and make up stories that weren't true about my wife and I taking care of a family. We had a forever home. I had a forever job. But when I lost my job, it was the downhill. I could not believe when I lost my job. I had done my job. I had moved my job recently, a couple years before that, because I was offered something I could not refuse. More money, more support, and a chance to maybe better myself for my family. Sometimes we're in a job for working so long. Because, see, I've been working for this company for a long time before I jumped to a new company. But when the contracts I bought, when I kept my bargain and the contracts that I brought in were not signed into play, or what they were signed into play, but the lack of funds. I did work for a private company that did work for the state of California. It was construction work. My background is civil engineering, where I made the money. But my true background is that I'm a marine biologist, educated as a marine biologist, and worked as a marine biologist scientist. And I had a good life doing that. I wasn't married at the time. I was free to do what I loved, surfing, and I was playing rugby back then because I played football through college and high school. I love football. In fact, this weekend, this Sunday, I'm going to go to my son's high school where a former player of his has come to do a coaching clinic. He's with the Detroit Lions. He played for USC in my son's high school. But he's a great man. It's like I keep in touch with you people. For 10 years, I've been following my son's high school. He played there 4 years and got 2 national championships. A running back, my son. A wonderful son. He's my youngest. But he is going through trauma right now with CPS. He asked me the other day, Dad, why did you put me in CPS? He was only 7 years at the time. He was clinging to me, holding me when these strange, terrible individuals were at my house. For 5 years, I was able to fend them off. But then they got tired, so they hired a detective. And the detective forced me to go to my home. I did not know that you cannot talk to CPS. I thought you had to, that you don't have to show them your home if they ask you. What they did and what CPS is doing to all of you, you got to listen to this. They use the police as a terrible tool. The police are very naive because they don't know. They're not there. It seems like there are government agencies that are supposed to help us. Social services is one of them. And I know they're retaliating against me because of my show, because I'm starting to see things change right now. I just got medical insurance for my wife and my young son. And my premium through Covered California was $3.56 or 56 cents. Something like that. Or $3.12. So a monthly premium for 2 people with deductibles. Well, I just received the mail yesterday that they want to increase my deductible from $3.12 to over $1,000 a month. How am I going to pay that? And why do they do that? I have to now take my time to call them to find out why. I'm on the threshold where I was once eligible for Medi-Cal, but because of my Social Security went up, money that I've already earned, I've already paid taxes on, they said you're going to have a deductible of $2,000 a month for us to help you. Well, that's ridiculous. $2,000 a month deductible for Medi-Cal? I don't understand it. Yes, I am getting help with food. Fresh Care, I do help it. But it's kind of like, I don't know if the workers are doing something or what is going on, because I find out that social services is corrupt. That's why we have a government entity called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. It was thought of by President Trump. It's one of his campaign promises that he investigate all the government and look at wasteful spending. Now, I don't know if that recent bill that was just passed in Congress has something changed on medical. I don't know. There's lots of things that go through my head. But this DOGE is some place that is trying to do good things. They had a brilliant man in charge of it for a while, but he can only do 130 days as work for the government. He was working for no pay, like Donald Trump was working for no pay. Our president has a hard task to try to find out things. This DOGE thing is investigating social services. I know that because when I was on the phone, the supervisor came in and dropped on our call and said, I'm with DOGE, I'm a supervisor, and we're making sure that you're treated fairly. So DOGE is a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's new, and so far they've saved supposedly $1 billion. Their goal was $1 trillion. But like anything else, people try to make promises. It's like our president wanted Ukraine and Russia over in 1 day or 24 hours. But he's dealing with a crazy KBG agent That's who Putin is. KBG, who are a lot worse than the SS stormtroopers of Germany during World War II. The KBG is a secret. It's us. We call our KBG the CIA. But we have children right now. They've been brought in this country illegally and dropped off and left here, with the cartel hiding behind them, who brought in drugs after drugs. Drugs is a serious problem here. Our children are being hurt. Yes, I agree, Samantha. You keep up the chain of command. Yeah, I've done it there. You're going to have to go, Carrie, to further ups. Hello, Carrie. It's good to see you, Carrie. You have to go further ups. You have to go to the top. You see, when I was approached by CPS, I thought I could be honest with them. For 5 years, I was. I shared them my home. I showed them my forever home. They found nothing wrong with my forever home, and all the accusations from the lay reporters were false. See, the problem with CPS is the way that they're structured. There are no watchdogs of CPS, by the way. When government in 1962 said to social service that you need to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse, it's an important thing. Just these last 2 days, there have been children left in the car and overheated. One of them died. One involved a father going in the shopping mall. He leaves his kids in the car with his seatbelt on, with the window down a little bit, I guess, so no one can get in. An hour later, people are trying to help, and the police are there. And it's sad because the children are very hot. That father did not know. That father is very neglected with his children there. He's been neglected. When he came back out, he was arrested and taken in for neglect. And those 2 children were alive. But then there was another mother who brought her child to daycare for some reason. I don't understand this at all. She forgot to drop him off. She left him in the car, a 5-year-old, and the child died. The child died. There is neglect there. Some parents are just not thinking. That's called neglect. Or just the other night in New York City on the news, you watch in broad daylight with thousands of people around, this weirdo guy, and they found out the guy is one of the illegal immigrants, kidnap a child and start to run down the street with them. And the parents saw it, and the parents came and tackled him down and forcibly held him on the ground till the police came within 4 minutes. And they arrested the guy and found out that he was not a legal citizen. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that I know this ICE thing is messy. And LA is a haven for outlaw people. The mayor of the city and the governor of the state do not know what they're talking about. I mean, the governor, he thinks about becoming a president. He's no more better a president. It's sad what is happening to our cities around the country. It's happening to people. Now, we can't cure it all. It's going to take time. And yes, it hurts with people being rounded up and sent back. You know, a grandmother who has had her children, who has also had children, is now being deported. There's 3 generations of people. You have to understand, the former administration had no guards on the border. Our current president, he was serving our president before, had started the closing of the border. building border walls. Now, I know there's this talk that walls don't work because President Ronald Reagan had said that tear down the walls, Gorbachev, of Russia. Because in East Germany and West Germany, there was a border right there. There's walls. Communists are not the answer to the life. It's so disgusting to see in Korea, the prime minister there, or wherever you want to call him, who has his wife walk 10 feet behind him, his daughter at his side. His wife doesn't dress very well. She kind of looking homely. His daughter looks like she's all decked out. But he's created a city of fun at the beach while people are starving in that country. He's more interested in blowing up America than anything else is. He has an obsession. Or the crazy religious leader in Iran who's so crazy that he wants to drop a drone on President Trump's navel because he thinks he's sunbathed. It's so stupid, these stories I hear all the time. And people are upset what Israel's doing. But Israel for thousands of years have been fighting these terrorist groups who go there and blatantly take over an unarmed ship and sink it. They don't care about people. They strap a bomb on a donkey in Colombia that blows up an army man that has a family. Again, these are terrorists of the world. They're all backed by Iran. Iran sits on an old dinosaur bed where they get all this oil to produce the gasoline. Now, I have no idea why gasoline is dropping, but that's really great. It's dropped from, it was getting back up to, one time 4.25, and then it's dropped now to $3.79. It was $3.75 before the election started, and then it went up for some reason, and now it's starting to come down. I don't know. It's a struggle for me to pay because I'm on Bangladesh wages, and right now, without a month of income, I now have faced all my bills. My creditors are sitting there wondering why I can't pay. My rent takes up 90% of my income, my retirement from Social Security. It's hard. Now, I was born in California, so why I live here is because I was born here. I was raised in California most of my life. I've lived in more places in the world, but that was during my first 18 years in the Navy. As a dependent, I served in the Navy. And I really love my dad and mom. They're gone. They're passed away. They were good people. They had good lives. My grandmother had good lives. My sister died, though, in agony. I have so many things that, that sometimes get to you. But I'm here to help you. Who is the higher up? Well, Carrie, I found out that Doge is the higher up. Doge is the higher up. You start off at the CPS office in your county. They have a director, and you can try with him. I did with mine, but it was a wasted time. There's also supervisors of the case workers. If you're dealing with a case worker and there isn't good communication or not working out, then respectfully request another social worker. If they don't give you one, ask to speak to a supervisor. And if the supervisor is not giving you help, ask to speak to the director. And if the director is not giving you any help, then you want to see an ombudsperson or a civil rights coordinator. And you can find those at the state in California and Sacramento. But every state has a capital. And you go there. Also, you can also talk to your representatives, your Congress people, your representatives and your senator. Every state has 2 senators, and depending on the population, they have representatives. They make up what's called Congress. Congress is what runs the United States. Yes, the president carries out Congress's mandates and tries to steer the country in the right direction. This president is very, very strong. He's respected worldwide. He just had a meal the other day with African nations that want to nominate him because he's helped so much in countries like Rwanda, another country, Republic of Congo, with all the terrorists. You know, you think about it, it's so hard to be living in the United States. That's a lousy place that we can burn our flag and don't respect. But I'm telling you from experience, I've lived in other places, and I'm so thankful I live in the United States because of the freedom we have here. And even though a lot of things are bad, we can make changes here. You can get involved. It's hard. It's a hard thing to get involved. Now, I put a message up so that you know how to text a message or about a comment or a question about CPS. That's right, Dorothy. You summed it up pretty good. Hello, Perm Sharman. I have no idea where you're from. Capture live, no, okay. I don't know what you're putting that on there because I can't read it, Per Sharman. We don't. The thing is, no one can click that and it'll open up. So it's a waste of time to post links like that. You need to tell me your first name, which I don't think is Perm Shama, and your city or county and your state you're from so that I can help you because we're here to deal with CPS, not to post things. I didn't know there were directors or supervisors above your caseworker. I know that in social services in Orange County, there are your social workers, your supervisor of the social workers, and then the director. There's no board of supervisors, no directors at the county level, at the state level, at the federal level. Money from the federal government goes trillions of dollars out. So the state gets billions and the county gets millions. And it's free flowing money. There's no accountability. There's a case in Richmond, Kentucky, where they have over $1 million unaccounted for. Now, recently they just found 400 of it was embezzled by one of the social workers there. Was embezzled. $400,000 was embezzled. Where's the other 600? There's no answer. Because the CPS entity in Richmond, Kentucky is gone bad. They're rogue. Why I know all these things is because over the 2,200 plus people, they either text me or call me, have told me so. There's a fine woman that lives in Richmond, Kentucky, Faye Manley, who used to be a part of my live stream, used to help host, who's experienced a double case of pneumonia, is ill again, and she's fighting to take care of her son, who's a special needs son in his 20s. And he was so bad and down and out that he did a stupid thing. He's alive. I'm not saying that she's alive, but they're struggling. And she told me the horror stories of her growing up in foster care, how foster parents would punish her by standing on her bare feet for hours on sharp rocks, or that she was trafficking into the sex industry. She was raped and hurt and everything else. It's terrible what happens to children in foster care. I'm trying to paint a picture that not all CPS is rosy. Not all CPS is good. It is bad. That's why you guys are here. And you're trying to figure out how to talk to them, how to get replacements. Judges can be replaced. Public defenders can be replaced. Social workers can be. They don't want to do it. But all you have to do is be niceful and write to higher ups to have it changed. Because they're determined to make as much money as they can by keeping your child in custody. That's where they make the money. Open your eyes. $20,000 a month goes for every child in custody. And if they get the child adopted into foster care, President Bill Clinton signed a law, the Incentive Act, where they'll pay, the federal government pay $35,000 to the county entity that has a child adopted into foster care. That's a terrible incentive. We should be doing what's called family reunification. We should not be putting children into foster care unless they're in danger, but they are. They come knocking on the door, you don't know it, you open it up, say, hi. Well, we're from so-and-so, and they got that intimidated policeman that has battle gear that he's going to think he's going to fight 500 people. You know, image is so important, and professionalism is. Now, I know a lot of the police officers are good, and I'm not saying all of them are bad. And the same way with social workers. They should be professionally dressed. The reason why policemen are with social workers is to serve a warrant and protect the social worker. Now, warrant is one of three ways to get into the home. The first one is when you open the door, your stupidity. You or a family member did. You need to tell your family, do not open the doors. My rule number 3. Do not open the doors to anybody unless you know them. And the way to know them maybe is do a special knock or something. Or they can call ahead and say, we're coming to your door. Can we come in to talk? I know it's extra nuisance, but see, with your door closed, they can't come in. They can't come in if they have a warrant. But they got to show you the warrant. If you don't answer the door, they can't come in. And if you don't answer the door, let them in, they can't come in. Now, they will come in if they hear noises inside of a child being hurt. They will break the door down and come in because a child's life is important. And believe me, there are children that are beaten bad all the time. They're being abused and neglected by parents all the time. There's over 1,000 cases every day that go unreported. But the mechanism of how they're reported is that when they're reported by two kinds of people. I said one of them was the layperson. The other one is a mandated reporter, the professional, the doctor, the nurse, the school teacher, the counselor, the principal, the caregivers, the police, the fire. These people work with children professionally. They are required by law to report suspected abuse or neglect. But the mechanism they do that is a simple phone call. It should be written down. If you're going to make a report about somebody, you fill out and you sign your name and you put your phone number there so someone can get a hold of you if it necessary be. That information will not be given out to inappropriate people. But if they found out they made up a story, they should be responsible for that made up story. Because it is being abused, not only by the lay people for their own needs, but also by the professional people. Of the 4,200 cases reported last year by lay people of potentially neglect or abuse, the 4,200,000, 2 million of them were false. That means it's a 50-50 chance that the professionals are getting it right. And the lay people, I think it's 99%. I think it's all wrong. Because the lay people use it for retaliation. They do. To be meanness or whatever the case would be. They don't like the way the dog's barking. So they're going to call the neighbor that owns the barking dog and say that he's abusing his children. Well, they come out and they find out the guy doesn't even have children. I mean, there's incidents all the time. All you have to do is look at the pink ladies in Prescott, Arizona in the summer of 2022 that parade around with t-shirts they proudly bought, not to support breast awareness cancer, but to send out a message. And they stenciled on the front, professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they said, parents, you know where your children are at. This is atrocious. This is wrong. This is wrong. Now, besides texting me messages and having me talk about something, you can be a guest. And I'd love for all of you. I'd love for all of you in my room right now to be a guest. I can take up 9 of you with me makes 10. But the software application I'm using, SteamYard, will take that many up there. Now, to be a guest, all you do is contact my show producer, Grace, who works pretty hard behind the scenes. Her email is gracevincentwdavis.com. So send her one of my show times. I want to be a Bob's Sunday night show or Bob's Friday morning show or Bob's Wednesday night. You send that information, she'll send you a link to SteamYard. They'll get you on. You copy and paste. And if you get booted off, copy and paste the link again. It's still good. But to be a guest is really good because we can talk among ourselves and help one another. So that's the second way. The third way is to call my number. Now, I should have put my number early on, but I didn't. My number is available right now at 626-698-0990. It's 10:48, and I've been talking for 46 minutes. So I have about 12 minutes left of my show time. 12 more minutes left that you can call in and talk about your case or ask the questions that you want to know. Ask the questions you want to know. I did mention that you need to get an attorney because you need somebody that's qualified to navigate and knows how to fight CPS. Just like a doctor in heart surgery, you need a lawyer in CPS. And I mean a lawyer that's properly trained in the areas of juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. Those are the 3 areas of law that your attorney should be entrusted in. Also, they should have experience fighting CPS. Now, my attorney, Vincent W. Davis, is that kind of attorney. And his office number is 888-888-6582. You can call there to get information or to talk to him. If you talk to the office, tell them that Bob Pace sent you. When you talk to Vincent Davis, tell them that Bob Pace sent you. It's important that I hear back. Now, I know I've jumped around and touched on different things again. Maybe I didn't do what you wanted because right now I don't know what I can do to make this room more interesting, better. I do try to talk to different people. I really do. I try to do different topics. I don't try to dwell on my 5 rules, which rule number 3 I was telling you about is that don't open the door, don't talk to them. Anytime you talk to a social worker, you're opening yourself up because they'll use what you say against them. If you live in a home, they're going to search the home. You know why I'm searching the home? Because maybe your home has bad things in it. I don't know. And if you talk to them extensively, they will turn around and use that against you. They're filling you out. They don't have the proof for the incident. All they have is a phone call from someone saying something. There's no guarantee that what they're saying is true. There's no guarantee. Okay. Um, Good to see you, Tony. I'm glad you're checking in. Tony the Tiger's from Ostenago County, New York. She has a 14-year-old son that's been drugged up by CPS, and she's trying to get custodies, and they're trying to traffic Tony the Tiger. She's going back to college, she told me. Go straight to the White House with the complaints. That's what I've been doing. Our Department of Justice, DOJ. Yeah, I think you maybe have to. Maybe you have to. Chat got an application, gives valuable information with draft letters, forms, whatever. Could you share that chat application or that form application, Tony? I think our listeners would love that. Now, Dorothy's sharing something called independent audit for all state and local CPS should be done yearly with public disclosures. I don't think it should be a yearly. I think it should be a monthly thing. I think if you have a board of supervisors, directors, both at the federal level, the state level, and the county level, that there should be a watchdog for this agency. It can be funded if they got trillions of dollars to give, you know, then they have money to afford this structure. And money should be, when the money's sent, it should be sent back with the explanation what the money's being used for, how it's being spent. I mean, right now they're talking about FEMA, and FEMA right now, you know, should not be eliminated. Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything our president's saying. But FEMA is a structure. I've worked with FEMA. I've done disasters. I have over 50 years of volunteer work with the Red Cross in the areas of a disaster manager, a teacher disaster, earthquake disasters. I've done some weird things. I had a single engine plane run into an airliner, a Mexico airliner, that caused the plane to crash in the neighborhood. And so I was the shelter manager, and there's really no survivors. It was terrible. The people in the plane, their heads were decapitated, and then the jet landed in the neighborhood and killed people on the ground. It's called the Cerritos Air Disaster. I've done the Northridge earthquake. I've worked Baywatch, trying to save horses and people from the fires in Malibu. I've done a lot of disaster over my life. I'm a water safety instructor, instructor trainer, a first aid instructor. I'm a former ocean lifeguard. I've worked on both the West Coast and the East Coast as a lifeguard. I've been a marine animal trainer, training dolphins and whales and killer whales at Marineland of the Pacific. I have extensive background in a lot of things. I'm manager of a chart house in Virginia Beach. It's a big seafood restaurant. So I have a lot of experience. And I'm looking for work right now. Looking for work. Work that will pay me, maybe not what I deserve, but will pay me a check that's guaranteed to come every week instead of promises. Right now I've been saving up months for money for a computer, but now I have to use that money because I have to sustain myself because I've got no work. And I can only go another month with no pay. I can't live another month like this. This is ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dorothy. Um, yeah, we should do a lot of those things. There's a lot of changes we need to make. Now, I maybe digressed and talked about a lot of different things. We have about 5 minutes left before I have to end my podcast. But I'm trying to cover anything I can about CPS. I don't care where you're from. I have a lovely mother from South Africa that calls in from time to time. So emotional, she says, Bob, you're the only thing that keeps me alive. I have to call all over to the United States from South Africa to get support. She is a loving mother that found out the man that she married is a pedophile and her child was abused by him. And that country's government's so corrupt, they allow the man to go free. The police are corrupt in her town. She lives in a garage. It's so sad. Or the mother in Leeds, England. You know, that is so emotional. It's like you guys come in here, and I wish I could put my arm around you and tell you they'll be all right. I know Christina Reynoso, who has written a beautiful grievance for me to utilize. I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart. But it's more than that. It's that I have to find time. And right now, I'm like a Dutch boy at the dam with all my fingers in all these holes. My dam's ready to burst, and I have no more fingers. Right now, I have 10 holes that are in disastrous level right now. 10 holes. Yes, I can still breathe, but I'm 75 years older. I'm not getting any younger. I thought when you get to your retirement age, you're trying to retire and enjoy life. That's what I thought retirement's all about. Yes, like in South Africa. Thanks. Thank you, Dorothy Cook, for being in the room to help emphasize things. Um, it is a hard thing for you guys. I can't give all in one full hour, but I can tell you that persistence does pay off. You have to be polite to people, polite to organizations, be respectful, but be also strong and purposeful. And if you keep persisting, you will eventually. I really believe that. Also, I do want to talk a little about God here a little bit. You got to have a belief in something, and that's what keeps me going. Um, I equate life as riding a train on a railroad tracks. You have the left rail, which I call the circle of life, which came from the Lion King, where the father talked to his son about growing up. You start in this world helpless, depending on others. Then you go through life, and it depends on what you do in life, good things or bad things. Now, on the other side is the rail to heaven. Everybody strives to go to heaven, so you got to repent your sins. And one way you can do that is create links to the other rail by timbers. A railroad is constructed of two rails and timbers. And those timbers connect to two rails. And each of those timbers could be something good that you've done. But believing in God and trusting Him is very hard. It is very, very, very hard. There's so many people going through so many horrible things. I know. But having a faith in God will help you in saving your children. You pray to Him. God does help those that help themselves, but you have to pray. You have to read the Bible and follow the 10 Commandments. It's so basic. Believe in God. And by the way, Jesus Christ is God. They're one of the same. For all of you didn't know that, I didn't know that till recently, that Jesus Christ and God are the same. So you believe in God You follow the 10 Commandments and read the Bible. And try to do a good deed every day. I try to say, what have I done today to help out this world or myself or anything on that? And talking to you guys about your cases, about CPS, the Child Protection System, and how to fight them. My rules: hire an attorney, do documentation, say no, and don't allow CPS or the police into your life. I'm saying that very loosely, but I think you know what I'm talking about. 4, use the internet wisely. Look it up, know the format. And 5, make a copy of important documents and keep them with you, with your documents, your notebook with your documents. It's so important. It's so important to follow these 5 rules. Now, it is now 11 o'clock. I've gone over. I can't believe it. I've actually gone over 3 minutes. My running time is 1 hour and 1 minute. So I got to close. But I will be here again tonight because I do believe in God and He has a purpose for me. And maybe to help you. If there's one person I saved, then I've done something right. Dorothy Cook, stay strong in North Carolina. Thank you for being in my room to support me and help me on that. Tony the Tiger, thank you very much for being in the room and being supportive. Tony is in New York, and I'm so glad that you're here, Tony. And Samantha Bernard, who's been in here a lot lately from California, I'm so glad to have you in here. Now, Perma Sharma, I know nothing about you. You never did do what I asked, so I don't know where you're from or what your CPS matter is. And Carrie Samson, it's nice. I know it's hard to go to the upper ups. Let me see who else. I think I covered the people that text me and the people that are in here. I know that is Christina Reynoso. Thank you, Christina Reynoso. Thank you, Betty Joe from Montana. My prayers go out to KK Richardson, who's going through a lot of turmoil. My prayers go out to Faye Manley. They go out to Kay in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's so many of you that I forget. I'm sorry, but I do care about you and I do pray for you. So I'll be seeing you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll talk more about CPS. Hang on to your children. Do not give them up. Fight for your children and pray. So with that being said, there'll be a brief, nice message from my attorney, Vincent Davis. Listen to it, and I will see you tonight. This is Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted, and if you go against then it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last ones left. Put your faith in